You are jealous.
Well, I think we all grow.
have jealousies. I mean, I definitely have had jealousies with Janelle and Christine and Robin because it's just I'm at a certain point in my life and now things are being shaken up and I need to figure out who I am again. Those jealousies are there with every one of them.
Because I ended the friendship. I ended the relationship. I did. I ended it. It wasn't safe for me anymore, and I ended it. And I just told her straight up, no, we're not going to be friends because I don't trust you.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, January 16th, 2023, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. It was a pretty, I don't even know, it's a weird time of year. There's like this lull in news, but then there's this huge story that breaks because of Peyton Brown doing an interview where he shared some details about his family. Now, his interview is getting mixed reactions. Some people are believing him, some people are not. Some people are not happy with some of the things that he said about his sister Gwendlyn and Leon. They are not happy about some of the things that he said about women, and they're just not happy with some of the things that he said. Other people are empathetic to him about what he shared. They agreed with him on a variety of different topics. Other people didn't like the person that interviewed him. It's a very mixed bag, but whether you believe it all or not, Gwendlyn Brown has now come forward and seemingly confirmed at least part of what he was talking about in some posts that have made it to Reddit and are now in an article over on Showbuzz Cheat Sheet, which is the website that covers Sister Wives among all kinds of other shows. But this is her, Gwendlyn, confirming something that she says that she witnessed that Meri had done as to one of her siblings. So she is confirming parts of Peyton's story. So the story about Meri Brown has been, I don't know, I think Sister Wives fans are left a little bit confused because they feel like for so many years they've been led to believe this family is perfect and that polygamy isn't bad. And, you know, unfortunately, whether you like the family or not, they have been involved in a group with a very sordid past and a long history with lots of really not good allegations. And Cody has, through this show, tried to really reshape his narrative of what he thinks polygamy is, even though it's not always factual. So many details are left out about polygamy that are negative, simply because he doesn't want that out there, because he wants people to support his lifestyle, and his goal with the show was to legalize it. So if it looks bad on TV, it looks bad to lawmakers. The last few years, people have seen the family unravel, and now people would say, well, now we're seeing who the Browns are. And as kids are growing up, people are starting to speak about their own experiences as children and how they feel about their father and how they feel about, you know, being on the show and how they feel about polygamy, with most of the kids not supporting the practice. So the viewers like you that watch the show that are fans have in many ways been misled by reality television producers on what polygamy is. And so for some of people, hearing allegations like this are hard to process because they think they know someone that they've seen on TV, not really recognizing that the person that they've seen on TV is a highly edited person with all of the creative control and what's being shown on TV and shown to viewers really coming back to Cody Brown, because he will not allow opposing views on the show. And so when people speak negatively about polygamy, it's not allowed. You'll never see an expert. One time, 2 episodes in all of their episodes have they ever addressed sort of the negative consequences of this practice. So, and they've also skirted around their own problems in their own family, because again, that doesn't help his narrative of being a good father, the most well-known polygamist, and that everything in polygamy is fine, which is just not true. So let's dive into this new topic of Gwendlyn confirming aspects of Peyton's story. But before we do, can you do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, please subscribe to my channel if you've not yet subscribed, and turn those notifications on so you know when I go live or new content loads. Also, make sure to click the bell if you want to be notified, and share this video with your friends and leave some comments if you have something to say. Before we dive into this, I have been sharing a lot of details that I've shared years past about some of the different cover-ups and lies that have been told on the show. And listen, I've watched the show. I have grown a fondness to some of the people on the show. I applaud those that have left Cody. I also believe that for the healing of the family, it is not wise for Janelle or Christine to stay on a show with Cody because they're helping to promote his show. But again, I understand it's a financial means for them. It's complicated. But on top of that, I'm not a fan show. I'm not a fan page. I'm a reporter that tries to show you all sides of the story. So it can be really hard for some of my viewers if I have a negative reaction to, say, someone that they love, whether it's Meri or it's Janelle or it's Christine. We have to remember that no matter what, none of these people are perfect. They've all made mistakes, and they're all public figures that have a public show, that have put their lives out to the masses and asked for feedback indirectly by being a public person. And so when information is brought up to the light, you really shouldn't ignore it, especially if it's stuff like this. And whether you have different feelings about them now or it changes, I understand this is going to be hard for some viewers to digest. With that said, if you want a deeper dive into this organization, you can always check out my Instagram and my Facebook, where I share a lot more details about the nefarious sides of the Apostolic United Brethren. This is what is on the new website, which is Showbuzz. Showbuzz cheat sheet says Sister Wives star Gwendlyn Brown. Gwendlyn recalls Meri being violent during her childhood, confirming Peyton's allegations. The article starts by saying Peyton made some allegations against his stepmom, Meri, in a recent interview. And Gwendlyn Brown confirms her estranged brother's allegations by revealing what she witnessed during her childhood. So before we start this part of it, I just want to preface this that there is an age gap between Gwendlyn and a couple of the individuals that seem to have maybe been targets of Meri. Meri had some problems, it sounds like, with Maddie, with Peyton, and with Mykelti. I don't know if there's other children that she also had problems with, but they all are the older kids, closer in age to Leon. And Meri was not able to have any more children, so you have to kind of, in many ways, consider this, that Meri, some of her jealousy, her anger, her frustration with the sister wives could have easily trickled down to taking it out on their kids, because that is common in polygamy, unfortunately. So in his 3-hour interview, which I've already talked with you about at length, he said that, he basically alleged that she was calling her abrasive, wasn't severe enough. He said Robin saved our lives, that Meri was pretty awful to a few of us, and it went past verbal. It went far past verbal. So, and then he also credited Robin for recognizing what Meri was doing and helping the family recognize that, which then he claims helped stop some of these behaviors, apparently. So Gwendlyn did a Patreon, and she has a Patreon, which I actually am no longer a follower of. I just didn't feel like I was getting a lot of content there. But if you are a member, kudos to you. I saw this on Reddit, and someone posted it there, but it says that Gwendlyn was asked about the claims that if Meri treated certain kids differently. And she said, Meri had moments where she was rude and scary, but I don't remember her getting physical with anyone except for Mykelti, and that was only once. And I believe that everyone deserves a second chance. So she says that she was rude and she was scary, and she doesn't remember her getting physical with anyone except Mykelti. Now, Gwendlyn can only speak for her experience in the family. She can't speak for Maddie. She can't speak for Mykelti. She can't even speak for Peyton. And listen, Gwendlyn and Peyton do not get along. She has repeatedly said that he has done things to her, and he has admitted to doing things to her. They've admitted to having Peyton having altercations with her, physical ones. And so obviously there's animosity that will be here, but it doesn't mean that what Maddie posted is false. Maddie called her a monster, Meri. So she says that Peyton is hypocritical for calling Meri out on supposed violence while ignoring his own. He was and still is the most V1 in our entire family. So this is a falling out that she had with him where he got physical with her. So she expanded in this article. It says that Gwendlyn expanded by saying she was scary as a kid, but she never attacked me, and I only saw her violent once. That was all a long time ago. And then she also continued by saying that whether or not Robin saved lives, she said, save their lives. I don't know anything about anyone's life being saved. Honestly, she was met with more dislike than anything. So those are what was put out on Reddit. The Reddit shared the screen cap, which is where I got mine from. So she says that she witnessed this, and I want to preface this by saying that Gwendlyn also likes Meri and has a good relationship with Meri. So what do we know about people that do things to children or that hurt people? Sometimes they have people that they're favorites and then other people that are their targets. So just because one child has a negative experience with someone doesn't mean that all children will. And so Meri could very well have some people that she struggled with and other ones that she didn't, depending on their behavior and whether or not they liked her. I don't really know. But this is her saying, yes, I saw something happen to Mykelti. Yes, it was physical. It only happened once. I believe in second chances. Yes, Meri was scary. Okay, so everyone has had an adult in their lives that are scary. But I think what has a lot of people upset is that, yes, these women are sister wives, but in many respects, Meri was the legal wife and she had power over these other wives that the others did not. So a lot of things have been said on the show that say that first wives or legal wives don't hold power, and that's just comical and false to imply that a woman that's not a legal wife wouldn't hold power over a girlfriend or a concubine. If a legal wife were to say Cody dies, Robin gets everything. She also can make decisions for his end of life. She has access to all of the bank accounts. Her name is on all of the properties. She can pull the plug if he gets ill. She can manage his health long term. She can be the executor of his will. None of the other wives, none of the legal other wives can. Also, if she were to divorce him, she can get alimony and child support because they were married. None of the other wives do. So this idea that a legal wife doesn't hold clout is ridiculous. They do. And often legal wives, because of their power, their job is to enforce and keep the others in line in polygamy. So I did a post on Instagram where I kind of explained the hierarchy of the concubines that are underneath the first wife. And I use concubines because when I speak to polygamists that have left, like women, that's how they refer to the women, as concubines, specifically if they were the illegal wives. Because to them, it's like their husband has taken someone that's not really even a wife, they're playing like they're a wife, and they do hold power over the women. And there is a hierarchy. And so Meri was the head wife, meaning she could discipline the kids, but they can't discipline hers. She can be cruel because she's jealous, but they can't be cruel to her. Janelle has always said she didn't know that she could speak back to Meri. That's because of her legal wife status. As the legal wife, she held power over Janelle. So if she did say something, Meri could make her life hell because she's the legal wife and Janelle is not. There's absolutely an imbalance of power. Everyone's fighting for Cody's attention. Everyone's fighting for his resources. Everyone wants a piece of him and he thinks he's God, okay? So it doesn't surprise me that Meri would be the enforcer if the allegations ring true. Now you have Gwendlyn saying, yes, I witnessed something with Mykelti. Peyton saying, yes, there was something that happened. Maddie has called her a monster. Mykelti has never commented publicly about the situation. The sister wives themselves have not said anything. Meri canceled her Friday night with friends, which is her normal, every week she does this thing with her friend Jen, and they basically talk about nothing on her Instagram, and people talk along with her. She hasn't really posted publicly. Apparently she made some posts in her LuLaRoe page on Facebook, but hasn't put out anything publicly at all since these allegations were made. And the other wives haven't really posted anything either. So right now, if anyone does say anything, it's going to be either like they're not going to address it, or if they do address it, it might be to defend Meri, or it could be to support Peyton. The problem here is that Peyton is a polarizing figure for some people in this family. So some people will automatically discount what he says because they'll say, well, he was just a bully. The sad thing about polygamy is that a kid can become a bully because they are tasked with helping to raise their siblings. They are witnessing what happens in the home, which can at times be incredibly horrific. They see their moms being sad, their moms are being depressed. They sometimes lock themselves in the rooms because they don't want to deal with things because they're so sad. They don't want to see their sister wives if they all live in one house. You know, there's discipline that's common in these families. And so the kids witness and are a product of the lives that they lead a lot of times. And so if he is a bully, he is responding to that. And so the kids that are not the favored wives' kids, like Christine's kids, could retaliate against those that are the favored kids because they see things that the favored kids are getting that they're not getting. Or the favored kids could be horrible to the kids that are not the favored children. It's not a good dynamic because everyone, again, is jockeying for position, and it's a competition for Cody's affection. There's not enough Cody to go around for everyone, and they're all desperate for him. It's sad. So him being a bully is, in many ways, I talked to 2 advocates that have said it's a product of the environment that they grow up in polygamy. So when it comes to is he being truthful or not, I'd say you've got a lot of different people in the family claiming that this has happened. Christine wrote about an altercation too in Sister Wives. I shared with you what Janelle wrote in Becoming Sister Wives. Now I want to share with you and read to you what Christine said about her relationship with Meri. And this appears to have happened in about 2008 because she says it was 15 years into her marriage with Cody. And when the show first aired, it was filmed in 2009, and they were at 16 years of marriage, okay? So in 2008, this is what she says. During my pregnancy, I decided to give up all non-maternal duties. She's talking about Truly. I stopped teaching. I told my family I was very stressed out and I needed to take some time off from everything about being a mom. For nearly 15 years, I devoted myself single-mindedly to preserving everyone else's happiness, but now I needed to restore mine. There was another factor that led to this drastic reconfiguration of my place in the household. About a year before I became pregnant with Truly, she had Truly in 2010. So she is 12 years old. So this would have been 2008, 2009. I had a devastating argument with Meri. For a while, I'd been feeling that she was too tough on my kid. While I understand that all children need discipline, I often felt like she went too far when it came to my children. It seemed to me that she was taking her frustrations out on my kids in particular. As a result of this, many of them were wary of her and afraid to cross her accidentally. I let this situation go on too long, and I let my emotions well up. And instead of talking to Meri calmly and explaining what I'd observed, her doing, and how she might fix her behavior, I exploded. I yelled and I screamed and I told her to stop talking to my kids and to stop interfering in their lives. Since I'm afraid of confrontation, I always allow stuff to build up till it's too late. So instead of trying to work it out with Meri, I just shut her out. This argument shattered my world, and it made me realize that I always have had superficial relationships with people. So she said that she felt that Meri was taking out her frustrations on her children. She was too hard on her children when it came to discipline, which could be code word for corporal punishment, and that she felt like she was going too far. She says that her children are scared of Meri because She's gone too far. They're afraid of crossing her accidentally because they don't know how she's going to react. They say that she says that she felt like Meri went too far with discipline with the kids, specifically hers, and that she was taking out her frustration on the kids. So any frustration that Meri was feeling, whether in her marriage, whether in her relationships, or towards Christine felt that Meri was taking that out on her kids, and that was making the kids scared of Meri, scared of crossing Meri. And Christine finally exploded at Meri and yelled at her. And that ended really their friendship. It made it so that their relationship never really recovered. And they had been pretty chummy before, but Christine says she even witnessed things that Meri was doing. And she tells Meri to stay out of my child's life and stop interfering in them. Stop yelling at them, stop interfering. Interfering in what way? Physically? I don't know. But Christine was saying my kids were scared of her. Gwendlyn says, I witnessed something that happened to Mykelti. Peyton says she was very vicious to some of us kids. I mean, I don't remember what his exact words were, but they're pretty awful to some of the other kids. Mykelti and Peyton are very close, so it wouldn't surprise me if he also is sensitive to what might have happened to Mykelti. So I think it's fair to say that something did happen here. Obviously, it was a long time ago, but at the same time, they've never discussed this publicly because it doesn't benefit the show. There's a lot of things they don't talk about that doesn't benefit the show. And so viewers might not believe it because they'll say, I don't believe it because that's not who I see on TV. Again, I'll remind you, the TV is a highly edited, curated show crafted and created for Cody Brown to be pro-polygamy so he can make polygamy legal. That was the goal of the show. He has creative control to an extent. He will not be featured on shows where he's negatively disparaged or he doesn't want opposing views. He doesn't want experts to come in. He doesn't want any of that. So they're not going to tell you about the negative sides of their family. They did in this book, but they've danced around it for years. But I want to remind you that Peyton also accused his father of paddling him and slapping him or hitting him in the face. So it's not just Meri that's doing things, clearly. Other parties were involved. Christine's saying she witnessed it and stood up for her kids. So this is where we're at today. Meri has not responded. Peyton says it happened. Gwendlyn confirmed something happened to Mykelti, that she was scared of Meri, and nobody else has said a word. Tell me what your thoughts are about all of this and whether or not you are surprised or shocked, if you can move forward with this, and if you would appreciate more of a deeper dive on my channel about some of the other cover-ups that have happened on Sister Wives. Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.